Hey everyone, this is Justin. Just wanted to walk through how to make a mileage log or driving log using ExpressMileage in just a couple of minutes. The first question here we've got is how many miles or kilometers, which depending on which one we choose here, we drove for the year or the period that we're trying to make a log for. In this case, I'll do 40,000 miles of business plus 15,000 miles of personal for a grand total of 55,000 miles for the year. Do this one for 2016. Go ahead and set your start date and end date. In this case, we're using the beginning of the year and the end of the year. And then we need to add a vehicle. Okay. Initial mileage on the odometer. The first day of the mileage log, the first day of the year, that's January 1st. And then the next screen requests that you identify the days that you did not drive for business. I'll go ahead and toggle the weekends and then pick a few holiday dates that may have not had any business driving. Okay. Next, we need to decide if we're going to use randomize or repeating auto-populate. So auto-populate generates these log entries across the span of your time period for the entire year. And we can use randomize, which 90–95% of people use, and that just creates random entries based on your input in the following few questions. Or we use repeating, and this is for folks that have the exact same driving pattern every single day. We randomize. And now we just pick what kind of driving habits or purposes we typically have. I'm going to add one more here, and I'll show you a little trick. I'm going to add business and another client meeting. And now I have client visit and client meeting. So you'll see I can use those in order to better randomize my log. Got personal miles, business miles, everything's represented there very nicely. Now, the final step before we actually generate the log is entering in details about these particular drives. So I'm entering in the average number of mileage driven one way for each one of these items and the location. And for simplicity, we'll just reutilize those locations for all of them. And then the interval. Each one of these has the ability to be set daily, weekly, or monthly. Go ahead and set up this appropriately. I'm going to do weekly, only 2 supply runs, meetings daily, several of those, several of the client visits. We also have an additional client meeting here that's a little bit longer. This one's 23 miles, this is 44 miles. This one may occur less frequently, perhaps, than the shorter one. So we've got a nice mix of data here. You'll notice at the bottom here, it has been tallying the total business miles and total personal miles. Looks like I'm over the number of 40,000. So what's going to happen is when I click next, it's going to ask me if I would like to trim the log. So what this does is it goes in and randomly deletes additional log entries until we get down to the target of 40,000 miles. This is a really nice way. We overpopulate and then remove, and that makes it even more random, which I really like. Confirm, and the system now does its auto population. So it only takes a few seconds, and it's generating several thousand entries. A mileage log that's going to be, my guess is a couple hundred pages long. But okay, so 1,900 drive events were created over the period of the year for a grand total of 55,000 miles. 40,000 of those miles are business, and 14,000 are personal. Great. So I can view the calendar see all the drives represented by the calendar heat map. Days that have less driving are green, days that have medium are orange, and days that have high driving mileage are red. I can add or edit any day by just looking at the day itself. So I'm looking here at the log for one particular day. I could go ahead and delete a few of these if I wanted to shore things up, or go ahead and add additional dates. One trick is if I wanted to add, I can also add repeating drives. So I can say I wanted a drive that starts on it's a weekly repeating drive. It repeats every 2 weeks on a particular date. Tuesday, it starts on the 2nd of January and it ends on, right? So really nice way also to add mileage to your mileage log. That's it. We've generated a log. We can go see the entries by downloading the log. Get a quick preview of what that log looks like. And if we like it, then we're able to download the log. And to download, we simply click the download log. And if we are a member, pro, elite, or standard member, we can download our log in an Excel spreadsheet or PDF format. You can also email it to a particular email address. Perhaps that's yours, perhaps that's your accountant's, etc. So you'll see when I open up that log that has been downloaded within Microsoft Excel or even Google Sheets, I can view all of the log entries and see the grand total at the top, all the details that we need as far as the grand totals, and I could change the rate within the actual spreadsheet itself if it was a different rate, if it needed to be 55 cents per mile instead of 54 cents based on the particular year or what your deduction level is. In this case, we've got, like we said, 1,900 entries. That spans over 100 pages if we were to print this out. We can quickly and easily print it out using a landscape or portrait method on your printer, and they print very nicely for submission to either your work or to your tax agency. That's it. Thank you again for your time and patience, and we look forward to working with you.